So you stand on the brink of making your 150th Blades appearance. Your take on that achievement?
Yeah, it's a really proud moment. I still stand by what I've said numerous times is the best decision of my life coming to this football club, and I haven't really looked back. I'd say 80-85% of it's been very very good. Obviously, we had that period last year, which was obviously disappointing. But on the whole, it's been fantastic, and like I said, best decision I've made.
If we'd have said in 2017 that 2 years of that period would have been spent in the Premier League, what would you have thought or said, perhaps?
Obviously, knew I was coming to an ambitious football club, and having been in the Premier League before, I knew they had aspirations to eventually get back there. But to get there so quickly was obviously brilliant, and like I said, a tinge of disappointment, obviously because of last year. We'd have liked to sustain the Premier League status for my whole time at the football club, but it wasn't to be, and now it's up to us to try and get back there.
Is there kind of one moment, incidental, major or otherwise, that particularly sticks in the mind about the time you spent at Sheffield United so far?
Yeah, I still say to all my family and friends, the best day was the game at Hillsborough. Obviously, for me, coming from a club that down south, and coming up here and just talking to all the locals and things like that, and telling me the importance of the fixture for both sides of the city. I didn't really quite understand it until I stepped foot out there, and then hit me in the face, and fantastic day, and probably my favourite moment.
So rolling on then, perhaps to now, having experienced such highs, how are you as an individual dealing with, teething problems and perhaps a slightly difficult, harder time?
I think you have to stay consistent, try and stay focused, and stay in your lane a little bit, not listen to too much outside noise. It's all well and good when things are doing well, but when things aren't going right, you hear other people's opinions and things like that. I think it's just if you listen to any podcasts or any books about successful people in life, they always kind of stay consistent, and don't look at the past, but also don't look at the future, and stay in the moment, and go from there, game by game.
So what's your assessment then as to why you've just come off a sequence of good results, so let's not forget that, but why are you as a group having these teething problems this year then?
Well, I think since I've come to this club, we've played a formation, recruited for a formation the whole time I've been here. Obviously, the new gaffers come in with different ideas, and it was always going to take time, especially with how detailed he is, and the little intricacies within positions he wants, and things like that. It was always going to take time, and you've seen with a couple of new additions that we picked up, and the other night was disappointing. Of course, we weren't at it, but on another day they don't score that wonder goal, and we perhaps equalise, and it's a different game. But it's the Championship, and most of our fans have experienced the Championship. A lot of their time supporting the football club, and they realise that we can have these nights, but quickly bounce back, and if we do that on Saturday, then we'd have had a successful week.
Did it perhaps, that match at Middlesbrough, highlight maybe one or two issues about how this team in the future can combat teams that are maybe that bit more physical, teams that will try and press a side that like to play it out from the back?
Yeah, but it's up to us to get better and to deal with that. It was different in terms of an onslaught of when we played against West Brom, where they were throwing it in our box and we weren't dealing with it. This was more, not dealing with on the night kind of individual duels, and just kind of winning our races and things like that. It wasn't so much we got outdone by a team that were launching it in the box. I thought we dealt relatively well with aerial duels and things like that. It was more, that's how it felt anyway, but it was more just we were second to balls, and we were just a yard off it a little bit, and that's obviously disappointing, but we need to make sure we're at it on Saturday.
Do you think as a group of players that you are more in tune now with what the manager wants, and as a result, I suppose, you're kind of getting there, so that sort of semblance of consistency is coming in the weeks ahead?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of hard work's going on the training ground. We have a lot of meetings that we go over things, and we're always looking to improve. And like I said, it would take time. We're still early on in the season. I know it's not kind of what you want to hear, but we're not a million miles off from performing to levels that we'll need to be performing at to reach our goal. And I think it's just up to us to just to keep going and keep improving and taking everything that the gaffer and his coaches are given to us.
Sheffield United are one of the fancied teams this season, undoubtedly. So what would it mean then to get a positive result down at Bournemouth, another fancied team this year?
Yeah, it'd be a statement. I don't think they've lost this season, so it'd be a good way to start that off. And we know we're under no illusions that it's going to be a tough game there. They've got some good players, good manager, and a lot of the players have experienced Premier League football for most of their career. So it's going to be tough, but we know on our day we're a match for anyone, and we'll be going down there looking to get 3 points. And
evidence of the difficulties of the Championship, because this is their second year in the division.
Yeah, of course, it's not an easy division, and the people looked at it as teams who come down should automatically go back up, but there's been a lot of teams that have shown it's harder than they may have thought, and it's just we'll be all right. We just need to keep going. We hit a bit of good form, obviously took a step back midweek, but the boys are confident, and I'm sure we'll have another meeting with the manager tomorrow to go over what we did wrong, and then another one to see how to get the upper hand against Bournemouth.
And how is he in circumstances like this? You mentioned a moment or two ago about how kind of forensic he is. Are they real sort of detailed discussions, or are it bullet points to take into the game?
Yeah, it's really good. I talked about consistency earlier, and he's been the definition of consistency for me. It's really impressed me the way win, lose or draw, nothing really changes in terms of his approach to the following game. He'll do the same kind of meetings. Him and his coaching staff will obviously, we see it on the bus back already after games. They're already watching the game that we just played kind of half an hour before. So they're bang on it, and they'll put together a detailed video. It's not particularly too long, but it's just got all the points that they believe we need to get better at, and it's I'm sure going forward it will be a massive help.
Yeah, and all of that really kind of serves as evidence of a coaching staff and a manager that have been there, seen it and done it at this level. What worked for them at Watford and Fulham can work at Sheffield United.
Yeah, of course, and he's openly told us before as well that he's had difficult patches when he's gone into clubs and turned it around and been incredibly successful. And you can see that the more we work together on the training field and gel, listening to his ideas, the more we'll be able to put it on the field, and then I think we'll be quite difficult to beat.